analytical geometry, finding all sorts of stuff in grade 11. They can sometimes put everything in one sum, like finding the midpoint, finding the gradient, finding the distance. The new stuff in grade 11 was finding an angle. So you're seeing this from the start, knowing there's going to be angles here. And to find an angle, you use the inclination. Right. So, first of all, they tell me that I've got to go find the gradient of AC. That's a level 0 sum. AC, I've got A's coordinates, I've got C's coordinates. To find the gradient, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which means if I go substitute, whichever one first, it doesn't matter. If I say 12, it must be minus 9 becoming a
Positive.
plus. Then I have to start with minus 9. Minus will become a plus again. If you did it the other way around, you're going to get exactly the same answer. Mine is going to be 21 over negative 6, which is 7 over 2. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When you did it the other way around, you'd have maybe, for instance, negative at the top and positive at the bottom, but your answer would still be the same. Is it, according to the sketch, that the gradient of AC should be
Negative.
negative at least? If you got positive, it should have made you worry. So there's the sum, and it would be about 2, maybe 3 marks, finding the gradient. Second piece of the question says, find the equation of the line R in S. R in S. Very importantly, though, is what?
Parallel lines.
The lines are parallel. What does that tell me immediately when I'm in
The gradient
analytical?
is the same.
The gradients are the same. If you see 90-degree angle, or they tell you perpendicular, what do you know? The gradients times is equal to -1. So if the one is minus 2 over 3, the other one would be plus 3 over 2. So those things you must look out for, because they don't say, listen, use the gradient. They just say lines are parallel. Because now if I want the equation of line R and S, I don't have enough information if I don't know that parallel lines. I don't even have well, I have one point. Which point do I have on that line? Not M, I don't have it. Because there's a A. I don't have it. Which one? 0, 0. The point O, the origin, I have. Because they told me in words, and guys, please remember, read what's before you. Because sometimes they'll say something that you didn't see on the sketch. Like, it passes through the origin. So that gives me a point. That point is 0, 0. But is that enough to find an equation of a line?
No.
No. So I have to have something else. And the something else was the fact that those lines are parallel. And I've just worked out the gradient of AC. So if the gradient of AC was -7 over 2, my line's gradient will also be
-7 over 2.
So for my equation, and just see how they wrote it, find the equation of the line R in S. Are you with me? Reading that?
Yes.
The line R in S. So I'm short of
C.
C. And what is C? C is your
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept, which is 0. Or if you wanted to substitute a point, you'd substitute 0, 0, and you're in any case going to find 0 there, 0 there, so C is equal to 0. Or you saw it and just say, so that's going to be 0, so that's going to be nothing over there. And if you want to write plus 0, I'm going to deduct marks from you. That's perfectly right. Okay, then you're wanting to find A. What is A? Is that a point?
No,
They just say find small little a. What are they asking?
the X.
I want that point ends a value, the x value, which is then called a. So how will I find it? If I have a point, what do I do with it? Substitute it into whatever it's on. Now I know it's on this line that I've just gotten. So I substitute in the point n into this equation, and I have what? In the place of y, 7. In the place of x is the a, and then the plus 0. So now find for me a. How do you find it?
Divide.
Divide by -7 over 2. divide by negative 7 over 2. It's timed with negative 7 over 2, so divide by negative 7 over 2. Or the other way to do it is to times with 2 over 7. Then it'll fall away as well. Divide by negative 7 over 2 and times by negative 2 over 7 is the same thing. And what's the answer? If your answer is negative 2. So in other words, my n is negative 2, 7. Did they ask me for the coordinates of n? No. But I can put it over here so that I now know a is equal to 2. So that I've got it. And I know that this gradient is negative 7 over 2. I've used what I had there. I've got the equation. Last part of the question was to find, what do you think are still short?
Theta.
Theta. Why would they give me all those alpha, beta, thetas if they don't ask me anything? I was waiting for this inclination part. So to find for theta, what do I need to do?
Use the gradient.
Use the gradient. Are you with me? So about tan theta. Tan theta. Tan theta? What's wrong with my sum? Tan theta? That's not an inclination.
Oh.
That's not an inclination. You've got to use inclination to get to it. So which inclinations are you going to find?
The beta.
Alpha and beta you're going to find.
What is that?
Do I have the gradient? Yes, I've got the gradient. That's what they made me do over here. So I know that for alpha, I'm going to look at the gradient of AC, which was negative 7 over 2 equal to tan alpha in that case. The main thing is that I'm using tan theta, alpha, beta, whatever, tan of the angle equal to the gradient. Little sum, little kezi. First you do your reference angle by doing shift tan of 7 over 2. Answer?
74,5.
5. Was it 5, 0? 0, 5. So that my actual question, now let's do the whole little case quickly. Tan is negative in the second and fourth quadrants if I was busy with the whole case, general solutions. But why does man say, don't even look at this? Because I'm busy with inclination. And inclination can only be an acute angle if it's a positive gradient or an obtuse angle if it's a negative gradient. This makes no sense when looking for inclination. You must understand why we do the stuff we do. So then for the second quadrant, my alpha answer would be 180 minus that 74,05. What's that answer? 5,95, is that right? 105, I'm sorry. Is that right? Okay, and it must make sense. I just wrote there 5 for some mystical reason and go there and say 5 degrees. Can't be. It has to be a obtuse angle, and now it is. So I know that alpha is 105,95. Nobody said go find alpha. You must know. I can't find theta, which is not an inclination, without using inclinations. Then I start looking at all the lines that are there and see which one of them is going to help me. First of all, you must identify a little triangle where I'm in with theta. So that'll be the triangle MC. P. Going nowhere else to P. So I'm needing my beta there, I'm needing my alpha there. So then for beta, what will I do? What gradient have I got?
Oh, the what?
BC, do I have it? Oops, then you gotta go get it. Are you with me? We had the other one. I don't have this one, so I'll have to go find it. So tan of beta would be equal to the gradient of BC. And for BC, the gradient was, I'm not going to write down that gradient formula again. If I've done it once in a sum, I don't have to. Okay? So then if I go look at BC and I say y2 is 9, y1 is minus 9, so it's 9 minus minus, giving me a plus. And it's 9 minus minus 3, which gives me a plus. So it gives me 18 over 12, am I right? Which is 3 over 2. I don't really have to simplify here because I'm not finished, I'm not done with the sum. So then I know that tan beta is equal to 3 over 2. Calculator says Shift tan of 3 over 2 gives me a beta answer of 56, comma,
3-1.
3-1, 3-1. So over here I've got 56,3, 1. And now my last answer, I just want to know what theta is. Therefore, theta is, you don't have to show me how you got there. How do I get there with this purple triangle? Interior angles, how? First you got to do straight line. Well, you can go straight line again. Easier. Vertically opposite angles. That's 56,3. One with a lot of lines in between, not a lot, but some lines in between there. But it's a vertically opposite angle. What would this one be? 74,05. Do you agree? Because I subtracted it from 180, so it should be that one. Think about it. And then what will theta then eventually be? Add together, subtract from 180 gives me. Come guys, quickly. Rounding. It's not going to be a major issue here. Okay, if you round it off earlier, later, it won't be the major issue here. Rounding comes in there where we do first paper and I do the quadratic formula and I say they round off to 2 decimals. There we're going to punish you for not rounding off correctly. This won't be a lot of, if you've got the idea, you might have rounded off incorrectly, we're not going to punish you there. Okay, but it mustn't be 106. The rounding is on the decimals. Okay, and that's the end of term 2 then.